T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, hoisting harmony to the heavens.
Space travel prediction. Today, we're going to talk about some of the incredible predictions made by scientists in the last century about space travel. There were many scientific predictions from the last century that have come true. Here are some examples. Space travel. In the early 20th century, science fiction writers like Jules Verne and H.G. wrote about space travel, but it wasn't until the mid-20th century that it became a reality. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first person to travel to space, and since then, humans have landed on the moon and sent probes to explore other planets. Space travel has long been a topic of fascination for scientists and writers alike. Many predictions have been made over the years about what space travel could look like in the future, and some of these predictions have already become a reality. The idea of space travel has always been an alluring one. From the moment humanity first gazed up at the stars, we have dreamed of one day exploring the vast expanse of space beyond our planet. In the 20th century, this dream became a reality as humanity made its first steps into space. One of the earliest predictions of space travel came from the French writer Jules Verne in his 1865 novel From the Earth to the Moon. Verne's book was based on the idea of launching a spacecraft from a cannon, which may sound far-fetched, but it actually laid the groundwork for future space travel concepts. In 1959, NASA named their first human spaceflight program Project Mercury, after the planet closest to the Sun, in honor of Verne's work. One of the most incredible predictions made by scientists in the last century was the idea that humans would one day set foot on the moon. Another influential book was The Exploration of Space by Arthur C. Clarke, published in 1951. Clarke was a science fiction writer who predicted that the first satellite would be launched in the 1950s, and he was right. The Soviet Union launched Sputnik in 1957, becoming the first country to put a satellite in orbit. Clarke's book also proposed the idea of using geostationary orbits for communication satellites, which are still used today. In the 1960s, the U.S. government began work on the Apollo program, which aimed to put a man on the moon. This was a huge undertaking, and many scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to make it happen. In 1969, the Apollo 11 mission successfully landed 2 astronauts on the moon, fulfilling a prediction that had been made by writers like Verne and Clarke over a century earlier. This prediction was made long before the technology existed to make it a reality, but thanks to the incredible determination and innovation of scientists and engineers, it eventually became possible. In 1969, the Apollo 11 mission achieved the seemingly impossible and humans walked on the moon for the very first time. But the moon was just the beginning. Scientists predicted that humans would one day travel to other planets, and again, this prediction came true. In 1977, the Voyager 1 spacecraft was launched with the mission to explore the outer reaches of our solar system. Since then, numerous other missions have been launched to explore the planets in our solar system, and we continue to learn more and more about the universe beyond our planet. Of course, space travel is not without its challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the issue of propulsion. Scientists predicted that we would one day be able to develop new and innovative propulsion systems that would make space travel faster and more efficient. Today, we are working on a variety of different propulsion systems, from ion engines to nuclear propulsion, that could potentially make interstellar travel a reality. Another major challenge facing space travel is the issue of radiation exposure. In the harsh environment of space, astronauts are exposed to high levels of radiation that can have serious health consequences. To address this challenge, scientists are working on new technologies that can protect astronauts from radiation exposure and keep them safe on their journeys through space. Today, space travel has become more commonplace, with many countries and private companies launching satellites and exploring the cosmos. In recent years, there have been predictions about space tourism, with companies like SpaceX and Virgin Galactic offering trips to space for paying customers. In conclusion, predictions about space travel have been around for over a century, and many of these predictions have already become a reality. Books and writers have played an important role in shaping these predictions, and the Apollo program proved that even the most ambitious goals can be achieved with determination and hard work. As we turn